guys, today I'm going to do a 12 by 12 layout. I'm going to be using these two pictures. This is a place that we like to go camping or on vacation. Sometimes we just go up for the day. It's about 2 to 2.5 hours away from where we live, but we really enjoy going up there. It's a campground and there's lots of hiking. It's just beautiful. And this is a picture of my daughter and my husband at our favorite restaurant up there, Wild Tomato. They have really good pizza. So anyway, today I'm going to be using some American Crafts pattern papers. I've got some scraps from like branding strips. It came in a 12 by 12 or a paper pad, a big paper pad, so they didn't really have branding strips per se, but they had these on the top. And then I've got a couple scraps that if I want to use. I'm not sure what this paper is from. Like I said, it just came in a best of American Crafts. I think this is from So Cute or something. I have some of the Project Life cards too, so might be using that. This kind of looks like something from Dear Lizzie, but I'm not sure. I can go look and see if anybody wants to know for sure. I can try to see what they're from. And this one. So that's what I'm going to use. I will speed up the video now and we'll get going. Alright, so first I'm taking my photos and I am deciding on which paper I am going to back them on. I'm also deciding if I want them next to each other or one on top, one on the bottom. Well, fair warning, this video is a little long and a little tedious because I could not make my mind up on anything. It seemed no matter what I tried to do, it took me forever to make up my mind. Well, I see by now that I have decided that's going to be my kind of border around my background. So I'm just cutting the middle of it out. I probably didn't need to do that since I have 3 sheets of it, but habit, I guess. So now I'm cutting an inch, I believe, off of this paper because that's going to be my main background. And I will glue that down. And I actually got it fairly straight for my first time. Usually I'm really crooked. I was a little bit off, but it wasn't enough to bother me that much that I would try getting that paper off, because that glue runner makes it, or the ATG tape makes that paper rip when you try to take paper off of it. So I'm going to take this kind of diagonal striped paper and cut a piece off to make a sort of border on one of the sides, and there I am, right, left, which side do I want it on? As I said, very indecisive. Now I'm playing with some of the scraps to see if I want to put scraps sticking out from it, looking through different papers to see what I want to mount my pictures on. And I had a yellow piece of either pattern paper or cardstock that I thought I liked, but I didn't have any more of it apparently because I didn't use that. I ended up just getting a piece of yellow cardstock just so the pictures had a little bit of a border between them and that pinkish corally colored. So now I'm deciding, do I want the pictures at the top, at the bottom, in the middle, and I decided to put them at the bottom. Now I'm going to play with the different papers to see if I want to add any more layers to the paper, and I really like that yellow. It really sticks out as going well with those colors. So I decide that I want it there, but then I'm still looking for something else to go in between. And I like the aqua color, but since my background is aqua or teal, it's not going to show up. So I just fiddle around with a bunch of different papers. In the end, I find a Project Life card that matches that I use in there. It's either Too Cute or So Cute. It's a Project Life mini kit that I received, I think I traded somebody for a partial of that, and last year or the year before, probably the year before, probably sometime in 2014, because that's when I started getting back into scrapbooking. I've been scrapbooking since approximately 1998. So let's see, that's the year my son was born. So about 17 years. But I did have quite a break in there. Somewhere 2-4 years, somewhere in there, I didn't do any scrapbooking. I'm not sure why. I was having some medical issues, but I still have them, and I'm scrapbooking again, so I'm not sure why I didn't do it. I even have a nice room that my husband helped make for me right before I stopped scrapbooking, so I'm not real sure what happened. I just lost my mojo or something. I always felt sad. I would go into my room and look at my room and be sad because I didn't have the energy or feel like doing it. But anyway, back to the layout. Looking through some die cuts. The paper that I have here is from an American Crafts, like a best of paper pad. I got it at Hobby Lobby, so the paper is not cardstock. It's pattern paper strength, I guess. So it's pretty thin. But I cut out all of the cut aparts, cut up a floral piece to get some embellishments to use, and then I also have some die cut packs that I ended up getting on Peachy Cheap, Dear Lizzie ones. So I'm just going through all of my cut aparts here, pulling out the ones that match the colors. And now we're going to start the fiddling process again. I knew I wanted that camera there. I like that camera. It's chipboard, and I knew I wanted it there. But I kind of bounce all over. This round piece has like constellations or something on it. And I knew I wanted a piece of that sticking out in that area where I have paper coming out from the pictures. And my journaling area is on there as well. I'm just going to fill around with different flowers to fill up that space. I always feel like something has to go in those right angles that I have, like something round or a flower. Something needs to be there, it seems. So I decided to put the other piece of that round piece, die cut, up at the top. Oh no, I guess I'm going to fiddle with that too. It ends up at the top eventually. So I'm looking through some of my flares here to see if there's a flare or two that match. And I found one that says These Days, and that one matched up really well. It had that pinkish, orangish watercolor. I think I got them off of Scraptastic's website when Scraptastic had a store where you could buy individual pieces instead of just the kits. And they had a sale going on, so I ended up getting a lot. My camera memory died there, so I just had to fade into a new section. Now I'm looking through some frames. I see people use frames on their layouts a lot, and I like it. But boy, do I struggle with where to put it, how to put it. It ends up, I cut it in half and it ends up on two parts of the layout, but it's like they're in the same area of the layout or the same side of the layout, and I don't like that, but it's the only place I could make it work. So just looking through some of my stickers, those chipboard stickers, I also got on a peachy cheap deal. There are 4 sets of different chipboard stickers. And I like that those die cuts, it said Happy Place, I think. I should have had the layout next to me while I was doing this and I forgot to grab it. I think it said Happy Place, but that ends up not working because one of the happy is that pinkish color and the place is the teal color, so no matter where you put it, it isn't working because the color blends in. One of the colors blend in if I put it on the teal or if I put it on the pinkish orange area. So still trying to figure out where I want my clusters to go. Clusters are pretty new for me, so I struggle with them yet. I've watched enough videos by people that are rock stars at embellishment clusters, but I still haven't figured it out myself. I don't know if it's just because I have a limited die cuts and I don't know. I really don't know, but I keep working at it, so someday maybe I can come close to being good with embellishment clusters, but for now I really struggle. So I took a piece of the yellow paper and ended up cutting it into a banner. I thought maybe I would put that camera up on top, but I'm fairly sure it ends up at the bottom. Okay. Oh, looking for another piece that I can cut into a flag. Maybe the camera did make it to the top. I really should have grabbed that layout so I could see it. So I cut that into a banner shape as well, put it next to the yellow piece, and the camera goes on top. I really thought I had it on the bottom. It would have worked down there too. I guess I could have put the banner sideways. That's all right. So still playing around with the flowers. Again, the flowers were the same color as some of the paper, so it was hard to find a place to put them. And I have that heart. The pictures are of 2 places that my family really enjoys going. It's up in Door County, Wisconsin. It's Peninsula State Park. We've camped there too, and their hiking trails are just beautiful. And then the photo below is of my husband and my daughter at our favorite pizza place up there called Wild Tomato. So those are our favorite places. Just looking through some of my stickers, trying to, again, find layering pieces. I'm just not quite there yet with the layering and the clustering, but we go up sometimes just for the day, which today was a day trip, or on this day, this layout day, was a day trip up to Door County. It's somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours to get up there. But we enjoy it so much. And the kids grumble a little bit about the hiking, but the promise of Wild Tomato is always in their future, so they know once we're done hiking, they get pizza. So they generally go along with very little complaining. We always have a good time, and I think they know that now, that we always end up having such a good time, so they really don't complain too much anymore. My husband and I love hiking, but the kids are not quite there yet. They're 13 and 17. Probably in these pictures they were 12 and 16 yet, but the promise of my son being able to drive up to Door County is also a plus for him. The kid loves to drive. We recently let him drive all the way through Chicago. That was fun, but it's a good way to learn, I guess. So now I decided I'm going to put the other piece of that frame up there, so both sides of the frame are on the same side of the layout, and I don't really like that, but I couldn't make it work anywhere else, and it seemed to work okay there. Trying to put some stuff inside and just, I don't know that I've struggled with the layout as much as this one ever. So I found these stickers, and now I'm back to fiddling again. Put the rest of that round die cut up there with a flower underneath it. I'm a little out of frame there, I see. I apologize for that. I don't know if I notice it or not. In the end, if I move it up. More fiddling. Yeah, those flowers are kind of close together too, but now I'm taking out my faux enamel dots. I discovered melting perler beads on YouTube, and I must have thousands of them. I went through a kick where I just made tray after tray after tray for a couple weeks, and they're pretty good. The only thing I don't like is that they're pretty much all the same size, so you don't have that variety like you do in enamel dots. But I found some colors that match the layout, and I'm just putting them on each of the embellishment clusters. And I ended up picking out a couple stickers off of that one sticker sheet. It says Happy Times, I believe. Pretty sure that's what it says. Note to self, grab layout before you do the next voiceover. I'm using little mini glue dots to glue down those enamel dots. I could use the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive that I have in the fine line bottle, but it takes too long to dry. So here are some close-ups. I did the journaling off camera. So thank you very much for watching, and I will